The two sides making their way out now. Canterbury look to be attacking to the right of screen. Our umpires today are Gobbin Gill and Harry Winch, two of our better umpires in the competition, so that's a luxury for us today. And you can see there that Sam McCulloch will be an absolute key. Also interested to see how big Khan Riley goes, so the captain coach of Burnie Baptist in the GNL, playing down here for Canterbury a few games before their season starts, so looking forward to seeing how he goes, a former underage state teammate of mine. So it'll be James Dick to kick us off for University, passing back to Ben Reid, and they opt to go right to Tyler McDonald, and they're already straight down the right hand sideline, and McCulloch in possession. So a little bit space open early on, and we've got Lockie Rogers with a nice little peel back. He's a little bit isolated though and finds himself under a little bit of pressure. But good enough to win the free hit, and a chance for Sam McCulloch. No, it'll be Rasmussen to knock the ball around to Vincent Harmon. And a period of possession here for Canterbury, going back to Ian McHugh. A little bit of a bobble trap. Hogan Jones unable to get past McDevitt. And McCulloch now a chance to a jinking run inside the circle. Only gets as far as McDonald, and a chance for McDevitt to now clear the danger. A little bit of stick work there, polishes the ball, finds Ashby Bingham and connects, just not able to connect with McDevitt in fact.
I think that'll be one of the key matchups today. Actually, is it's how Ashby Bingham and Sam McCulloch match up against each other. Obviously, they'll probably be in midfield against each other for a lot of the game. It looks like they're not actually lining up against each other at the moment, but they're the main ball carriers for each team, especially through the middle of the field. So if they have impacts on the game today, it could really open up for them.
So a searching ball from Angus Oakfield there, and he'll be substituting with Craig Donovan as Canterbury look to use their full bench. But Canterbury looking to attack down the right hand side. Good territorial advantage now, but Ben Reid clearing the danger away for them. A chance for Canterbury to reset again at the back. And a chance also for University to get their default structure back with James Dick at the head of their arrow press.
Rito's playing very deep as a spare defender at the moment. Pretty much staying inside the D when the ball is in Uni's defensive half, which is maybe a little bit deeper than what most people would play it, but he's extremely good at that position and knows where he needs to be to pick up the ball.
Great pressure from Tom Wiley there, but unable to turn possession over someone unfortunately. A chance again now for Canterbury to keep knocking the ball around, getting good distance between their defensive positions. Back to Donovan. And Sam Payne, who's been absolutely outstanding the first couple of weeks, is able to win a free hit going to ground there. Jono Hodgson goes for the aerial ball, beats Donovan, and a chance now for McDevitt to run at pace at Ian McHugh. He's inside the circle, searching ball back to Bingham.
Tackle from Rasmussen, and McCulloch will come away with the ball. This is where he likes to be, and Rito just gives away the free, so it allows him to set up again. That's a good ball. Kitchener stepping in front there. Ben Reid to Bingham, who's been involved early, comes up against Brenton Watson, who finds McCulloch, not much going, so shuffles the ball back. Canterbury like to do this, knock the ball from side to side, going right round the back. Harmon, Riley's got up the ground on the right hand side, but he elects to go back to McHugh. This will probably be what happens for the majority of the game. Uni will look to counter on the break with the likes of Dickey up front. Rito will like to play the long ball. They'll want to go at pace and try and get a 2v1, 1v1 at the back, whereas Canterbury will be a lot more patient. They'll look to get the ball around, try and get down through the baseline so they're not having to go through Ben Reid on the top of the circle. Aaron Kitchener takes possession off Luke Redmond there, and McDevitt. Again, some fancy stick work on that sideline at the far end.
Yeah,
he's earned himself a free hit.
Oh.
Takes it quickly, but he's a little bit isolated, and Donovan is going to have a little sit down on the chair for not getting 5 metres.
I think it was a kick. I think he kicked it. He did that against us as well. I don't know why he keeps doing it. Looked like a filthy kick.
So here's where Sam Payne has been dangerous in the opening few rounds. Overlapping on that right-hand side. And this is now the first time that University can get their numbers forward. But they've rushed that bit of play, and now Canterbury will get the chance to clear the danger. So Vincent Harmon to bring the game back to life. Elects to go right across to Khan Riley. I've just noticed Jamie Hollick's just come on for Canterbury, former leading goal scorer in the Darwin Hockey Association, and a premiership winner with South Launceston in the Great Northern League. So he's taking the field for his first game for the season for Canterbury. I think he might have scored a couple of goals against Derwent Strikers last year, Josh.
I think he did, I do remember that.
So just a bit of a sort of a half press from University, allowing Canterbury plenty of time just to build the ball up from the back. Searching ball from Harmon, and he's found, is that Lockie Rogers?
Yes, it is.
Connects well, and there's our man Hollick. Finds McCulloch, in fact.
It's a good step from Sam Payne, covering defence. And this is where Uni are generally pretty dangerous on the break. When there's a little bit of scramble defence, that everyone trying to find their man, that's when they're most dangerous. I'm surprised they didn't press quite as high, especially when Canterbury were down to 10 there. They're back to full complement again. I think Sean Redmond's come on instead of Dono. That's a really good ball from Rito there though.
So University have committed some numbers down the right-hand side. Joe Scott finds Payne, but he's just lifted that ball just a fraction too far, and umpire Winch has given Canterbury a free hit. They're in no rush to take it. A chance for Craig Donovan to come back onto the field of play and redeem himself. Hullock's got very high into space, but unfortunately McHugh didn't quite spot the run. They've turned over possession there with good pressure from McDevitt and Tom Wiley.
Good ball.
Good aerial from Ben Reid.
It's always a tough trap, that one. Coming through the defender on the bounce. It's the first aerial we've seen today though. I thought we would have seen a few more early on.
Yeah, we haven't seen James Dick or Tom Wiley get very high. Even Michael McDevitt's been coming back to the ball.
Usually they like to, as soon as they get a free hit, Rito will get on the ball and get someone in behind. Haven't seen that yet. That's off the top of McDevitt's head. Neither team really stretching the field at the moment, which is probably why they're struggling to outlet the ball. It's a little bit better. Canterbury getting a little bit more stretch, a little bit more space to work in.
And the Lions look to be sending one flank halfback very high up the field. That's a great ball there from Harmon to find Brenton Watson. Unable to quite force the obstruction there, and Payne's on hand to turn possession over. But there's the University centre forward James Dick. He loves the counter-attack opportunity, but he is coming back very deep.
Yeah, I think he was covering defence on the right wing on Donovan when he pushed forward, and trying to break away down that right-hand side, but couldn't keep it on his stick.
So University, chance to come down their left, which they haven't ventured down too often yet in this match. Back to McDonald. He's got plenty of time with, again, Canterbury sort of sagging off themselves in their attacking press. Not the best ball for Reid, but comfortable trap.
Like a foot to me. Yep.
An opportunity for them to go quick if they want to. There goes Bingham, beats one, beats two, beats three, into the circle, but he meets Angus Oakfield.
Oh, corner, I think. Yeah.
And a great chaos sort of ball by Jono Hodgson has found the Canterbury foot. I think it was Hogan Jones, perhaps. And this is what University love, a look at set pieces. And this will see either Tyler McDonald or Ben Reid look for a direct shot against two-time Team of the Week goalkeeper Max Larkin.
2020 goalkeeper of the year.
And 2020 goalkeeper of the year. So this will be a good contest within the contest. Looks like University are only going to set up the one battery. And I'd be putting my last $5 on Ben Reid to have a look at this one. He scored a couple of times against Larkin last year by looking to go down the line of his left foot. That's where he looks to go now, but well run by Hogan Jones. That's gutsy play. And now Canterbury are on the overlap. Here's Hullock. Great ball down to Sean Redmond, but couldn't quite affect the trap, and Joe Scott's on hand just to relieve the pressure.
Really good running from Hogan Jones on one runner there. Really putting his body on the line. I think he came off the top of his stick, but that's very, very brave, especially off a Ben Reid drag flick.
McCulloch finds the ball in the attacking circle, tries to play for the foot, but can't connect. And here's McDevitt now. Links up with James Dick. He'll give it back to him, and he's got space to gallop into now. Does he go around the back? He does. Beats one. Bit of a half pirouette. And he's going to crack that in. He finds James Dick. Tried to trap that on the move. Very difficult skill to do. And Canterbury, unusually so, tried to take that one quickly, Josh.
Yeah,
and they've just coughed it back up to University.
Maybe a little bit of panic there from Canterbury. I think probably because they've been in control of the ball for a lot of the game, and now all of a sudden they've conceded the corner. They can't really get a foothold back in the game. And this is where Uni are very strong. When Ben Reid gets on the ball a lot, is allowed to control where the ball goes. It's a really good touch from Dickie again. And, Harmon is in front though. And Canterbury will come away with the sideline. You probably just need to calm the game down again. Uni get up and about when there's lots of turnover, there's lots of opportunity to counter-attack. They just need to control the ball for a little bit, Canterbury. It's a nice pick-up from Tom Rasmussen down the line. But Joe Scott cleans up. Oh no. Oh. I can't comment on the umpires at the moment, so I don't agree with it, but I'm not going to comment on it.
That's a cracking ball by McCulloch, finds Harmon, and now Canterbury have got an opportunity in their attacking third, just at the head of the circle. They've stretched the attacking circle, only a couple of options in there. They go to Hogan Jones, who's met by Hodgson, and a free hit here.
Does a lot of the dirty work, Jono Hodgson, in the middle of the field for Uni. It gets bypassed when they go forward a lot of the time because they use the aerial so often. But does a lot of the dirty work, winning the ball back, winning free hits, breaking down the play.
One of about a dozen players that have played with Chesterfield Hockey Club in the English Midlands lower levels.
I do think they have a bit of a link over there with Uni.
Hello to Christian Baddy, the coach of Chesterfield, if you're watching. And Sam Payne again getting busy down that right-hand sideline. University have really favoured that far side, haven't they? Their right-hand side. Sam Payne, you can see him just out off the screen. He's gone right up in line with the head of the circle.
They almost use him as a fourth midfielder, fourth attacker. Because they know that they have Tyler McDonald and Ben Reid at the back. They know they have a bit of quality in defence, so they feel like they can deal with anything thrown at them with those two commanding their defence. And Hogan Jones has just been allowed to run through. Everyone stopped there. I think they thought the ball went out, and now Lockie Rogers might. No, he's been blown up against there for being a little bit too physical. Probably the smallest player on the field.
He was a little bit stiff there, but I love the endeavour of the boy.
He's been very good recently this year. It's like one of the younger players going away with the state side in a couple of weeks.
Now Reed got plenty of time just to walk the ball up and survey his options. Goes straight down the middle. You can't allow that ball too many times. And James Dick receives in front of Carn Riley. Jono Hodgson's gotten forward. And Joe Scott's on the overlap. He's met by Ian McHugh, so he looks to protect it rather than roll further forward. And a little bit out of options there, just rolls it onto the foot.
Done pretty well there.
As the seconds start to tick away in this first quarter, it's still 0-0, but after an early period of territorial dominance, the University now just starting to build the play up nicely and carve out some half chances. Strong play by McCulloch, wins the ball back for Canterbury. Time to regather. It's a youthful forward line for Canterbury with James Sexton, Tom Rasmussen and Lockie Rogers, all very industrious, very busy up there. But I am surprised somewhat that young Ben East hasn't got a game yet that I've seen, Josh, for Canterbury.
I saw a lot of him last year. I know they've made a few changes this year.
Great searching ball by Ben Reid as the last final seconds. But James Dick, who drifted in behind, he'd ghosted in behind his marker, was unable to get a stick to that. And that was a great half chance as the quarter ended. And both sides head back into the huddles at 0-0. How have you seen the first quarter, Josh?
Pretty even for the most part. If you were to make a stat sheet of the whole first quarter, I think it'd be pretty even. Canterbury looks as if Canterbury are lining up pretty similar to how they lined up in the first quarter. I'm trying to see if Uni have made any changes. Doesn't look like it. Looks pretty similar to me.
And Ashby Bigham to start with McCulloch. It's a sort of key matchup for mine. But again, Sam Payne straight up the line. Tyler McDonald searching on the 45, met by Carn Riley in fact. And big strong presence. Eventually recycles the ball back out and around. And Sean Redmond's actually found himself in deep defence, I think just momentarily for Canterbury, but he is a versatile type, Sean Redmond.
I put Harmon in a little bit of bother there. Didn't have many options, but he's done really well to get out.
Connects with Rasmussen posting back, gets on the overlap.
Ooh. A little bit of a cynical foot there.
I feel like Tom Rasmussen's gone a little bit calmer with his shoe selection this week.
Yes, he likes the bright shoe. A lot of these boys do.
And there's a really strong driving run from McCulloch, carrying the ball outside his left foot in a weaker position, but did that really well, but just unable to keep the ball in the field of play. A chance now for University. Canterbury seem to be trying to allow them to come left, but University,
I think they understand that they don't want to attack left. They want to use Sam Payne. They're just trying to make Uni do something they don't want to do, which they didn't really do in the first quarter. Good tackle from Joe Scott there.
University, just with their overheads, haven't been able to find quite enough distance at the moment. Starting to look for them. McHugh goes all the way back to Harmon, and Alex Hogan-Jones has found some space, but he turns straight into trouble with Jono Hodgson. And a free hit there. Chance for McDonald to get himself back on the ball.
There we go.
He searches for the aerial again. That's better distance.
Good trap. Really good trap under pressure from Harmon. I reckon that would be straight out of the sun as well. That would be a really tough trap to take.
Terrific cued in lead by Tom Wiley though to get in behind and put pressure on that receive. A fantastic middle and long distance runner, Tom Wiley. He'll run all day and love these conditions, but the University have coughed the ball up here. McDonald can get a stick in and does so again, winning the ball off Tom Rasmussen. Well done, and he's now charging forward.
He really has excelled defensively in the last couple of years. I've been really impressed with his development. Probably helps that he's doing a lot of the high level TRS stuff at the moment. But it's really hoping that he can sort of kick on and try and break into the national squads if possible.
He's getting busy at the moment now.
He wants to go quickly. Winch has told him to go back. And he'll just go all the way back to Ben Reid.
Hodgson with time to look up and pick a pass, but he's found the stick of Hogan Jones. So an attacking 25 in the middle of the ground for University here. Quite narrow in the way that they've set up here. And Reid will flick that in. Bobbly ball. James Dick can't quite control, but was looking ominous. And now Ian McHugh on his non-preferred side picks out McCulloch, and
3 on 2
they've
here.
scrambled this nicely. Hogan Jones will drop it wide to Rogers. Immediately finds himself under pressure, but nice and calm.
Done
Does
really
that well. Protects. And Ashby Bingham is able to intercept just by work rate and getting back.
Just the ball speed going forward there. They had 3 on 2 from the half line. It was just unfortunately the pass, I don't know whether he didn't catch it or just bobbled off his stick, but it didn't quite get to Rogers quickly enough.
But a wonderful glimpse at the potential of Lockie Rogers there.
Yeah, he could be a name for the future, I think. Oh,
So Reid tries to drag flick that out of defence. That was unorthodox. Watson finds
save.
Redmond, who forces a beautiful tomahawk shot, but well saved by Pearson, and a chance now for University to jump on the rebound first. That was a fantastic reflex save from Jaden Pearson in the net. His first game of the season.
Yeah.
He's come in due to the suspension of James Shepherd and travelled down from Launceston and was up to the challenge there. Nice quick shot from Redmond though.
Yeah, it was a good shot. Good, did well to move his feet, manipulate the ball into a position he could get it to hit, which is harder than it looks when you're put under that pressure at the top of the circle. It was a really good save from Jaden. First real clear shot Canterbury have had on goal.
Yeah, and I just feel, you know, for the wonderful work of James Sexton, Rasmussen and Lockie Rogers, they just look a better balanced and a more dangerous side with a Redmond or a Ben East up there, those natural instinctive forwards, just to balance their attack a little bit. So
No, I agree with that. Sometimes you do need someone that's maybe a little... Ooh.
Ben Reid has sent that into absolute orbit, and
it's Henry Wright on the end of it.
Henry Wright on debut in the Premier League, a quick fire shot smothered by Max Larkin, who was quick off his line to close down the angle.
I don't know if that went in the sun or the wind or whatever, because Khan Riley went under it and it went straight over his head and bounced over 3 or 4 people.
It was that high, he nearly had time to make a cup of tea while he waited for it, and I think he might have fallen asleep. But it just shows how quickly University can transition from defence to attack and remain a threat. And Henry Wright, what a way to inject yourself into the game with their first clear shot on goal.
Another one of the young boys going to the A-teams in a couple of weeks.
So I've just noticed that Ben Reid has gone into a sort of a marking role, and Tyler McDonald has gone into the free position. He's bypassed there by taking a little deflection from McCulloch, and Reid will get himself on the ball. But University, you can see now they've really stretched the pitch, and Sam Payne's up over the half line. Ian McHugh will have to pick him up, so we are effectively man on man now. And Jono Hodgson receiving the ball into space. He's rolled and broken one line.
Good ball.
Feeds it long to McDevitt, who just can't quite control that one. He'll be disappointed with that.
I think that's been the problem so far with both teams. That final pass into the 25 or into the D hasn't been of quality, and it hasn't been to where the player wants it, or it's been a little bobble, so it's been more difficult for them to trap. Just giving the defenders an opportunity to either get back, or it's been a missed trap.
Tyler got himself into trouble, then got back out of trouble there, and that's a fantastic ball and almost well worked the trap there from Henry Wright, who really has injected himself into this game. Luke Redmond fires it wide to McCulloch, and this is the situations he loves. Goes up and around, left to right, past Ben Reid. He'll be looking for the penalty corner here, and he's earned it. Well done, Sam McCulloch. And a fantastic ball from Luke Redmond. He sort of drifted out to the sideline, fed the ball just where he wanted it, and he just loves having those sort of 15 or 20 yards of space in front of him to run at pace. And really Ben Reid, in that one-on-one situation.
He did a pretty good job to start with, to be fair. Ben, he put him wide, slowed him down, kept him out of the D. It just sounded probably just a little bit too quick in the end. But that's the difference between the ball quality in the final third or final 25. That pass from Luke Redmond was right on the money for Sam. So he could take it in stride and take it exactly where he wanted it.
Now, of course, the new rules of the Premier League, playing conditions, the clock is stopped And they've got 40 seconds to take this corner. And you'd think after just getting his head of steam up that Sam McCulloch will be the option at the top of the battery.
Ian McHugh looks pretty interested for the L1 deflection as well.
So Vincent Harmon injects with an unorthodox style. McCulloch flicks
save.
low, and that's a really comfortable save from Jaden Pearson, stretching with his right foot. Big, strong clearance out over the sideline. That's a confidence-boosting save.
I think he knows that they like to go that side, and he's confident with Ben Reid on his left post as well. They've obviously played together for a while in previous seasons, and he's confident that Rito can pick anything down his left side, so he does offset a yard or two to his right, which makes it a lot easier for that sort of save. Wasted ball from Canterbury though again.
But McCulloch, again, getting the ball out near the sidelines, finds himself under heavy pressure from McDonald and Payne, team tackling, working really well for the students there. And they've been slow to step across here, University, and Angus Oakford finds himself the beneficiary on the overlap. He peels it back in, and that's a rushed challenge there from the University defender, and that's a well-worked penalty corner now and a chance to get another look at the goals for the Lions.
I think it was blown up for Tyler McDonald's tackle. It kind of came flying in from outside the D. I'm not sure he needed to. It was probably manageable if he just got across. I would expect that this will probably go to Ian McHugh. They like to go for this L1 deflection, and especially as Jaden likes to offset to that right hand side, unless McCulloch thinks he's going to flick through Ben Reid, I think this will go for a deflection.
Oh, and he does. He tries just a little bit askew. I don't think it took a touch, Josh.
I think Jaden got it with his glove on the way through. I don't think Ben Reid saw it coming. His head was way out of the way, as probably most posties would be in that situation. It's going to be another long corner for Canterbury.
So, a couple of big moments there for Jaden Pearson. He'd come up trumps against Redmond's tomahawk shot and a couple of penalty corners. And Canterbury back on top a little bit like the start of the first quarter here, but starting to get some more clear-cut scoring opportunities. University are a little bit stretched in the press.
Very deep as well.
Ian McHugh elects to go back. Now they've gone right. Watson's jumped into the back line and allows, is that Redmayne?
Yep.
To get in. It gets through Ben Reid, but
Kitchener did really
Aaron
well.
Kitchener's done fantastically well there to
Given the
clear
ball
out,
straight
but
back.
he's given it straight back to Watson, to McHugh.
Good defending from
And
McDonald.
McDonald comes up trumps on his reverse stick side. Chance now for McDevitt. He leaves it behind him.
Nice bit of skill to keep the ball. Really nice little bit of 3D skill. Kitchener's done
And
well there.
Aaron Kitchener's done fantastically well to transfer play, but
Not
unfortunately
quite
a
Sam
really
Payne.
heavy touch from Sam Payne.
He's usually really good in that sort of area.
But we saw before Michael McDevitt just popping the ball up. We call that 3D skills nowadays, and it's been a new skill that's really come on leaps and bounds in the last 5 or 6 years in hockey circles. And
Some of the young players have really embraced as well. Oh, that's a good tackle by McDonald. It's a little bit.
And here he goes again with his 3Ds. He beats 2, but unfortunately loses control there, and Ian McHugh just glides past 1. A little bit of seesaw hockey at the moment. It's got a little bit untidy. Someone needs to just jump on this and consolidate.
Yeah, a lot of the young players, especially in this competition, have really embraced the new any sort of new skill you can do, whether it's a Tomo or whether it's a little bit of 3D skills. They love doing the Joe Scott's kept it in. Little mistrap from Ben Reid, but Joe Scott really recovered it well.
Ooh, heavy clash
McDevitt's in there
there
again.
from McDevitt, and a chance now for him to use his skills. There he
Nice.
goes. Beautiful
Really nice.
lift and acceleration down the line. He's protecting it well against Luke Redmayne, but just can't quite control it as he looked to protect.
Certainly get involved in the game, which is what Uni need from their forwards. They can't always rely on the likes of James Dick.
So interestingly, Luke Redmond's gone into defence for the Lions. Just could be momentarily though while they substitute. And Tom Wiley has jumped into the midfield, playing a tight marking role on Brenton Watson. Immediately called into the action. Combines with McDonald. Out to young Oscar Sproul, who was impressive last week in some with the minutes he got against OHA. And Khan Riley, that's a big searching ball that beats. It eludes Sam Payne, but Tom Rasmussen, who was sniffing in behind, unable to control it.
It's a really difficult skill. There was one like that in the first quarter as well. The ball's coming through a player on the bounce. You just have to expect that they're going to miss it. If you think they're going to touch it, you're never going to. Again, there's another. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect trap from Sam Payne. Expected the ball. Really nice skill. Tomer across.
And that is a tremendous ball, and that's
Ollie Sproul.
Just overran it Oliver Sproul, but that's a fantastic look into the skills of Sam Payne. Not only can he do it on the right-hand side.
You don't usually see him on the left. He usually gets stuck out there on the right-hand side, but it's good to see him changing it up.
Really young forward line now here for University. They've rolled the bench substitutes.
Donovan's done really well to get out of that.
And Donovan back into the action. He loves these situations, carries the ball strong. That's a ripping tackle from Tyler McDonald, but must have hit his foot. And Canterbury have got the opportunity to get numbers forward here. Oakford to McCulloch, who slaps, and Jaden Pearson is called upon again with a big stretch. I think McCulloch might have shot to the wrong post though, because he had young...
Yeah, Lockie Rogers I think was on the left post, or Rasmussen was on the left post I think. It's gone in there again.
Oh, he's sniffing around again at the feet of Pearson.
Well, they're getting the ball in the right areas at the moment. They're just not getting the players to the right areas, I think. Getting the ball in front of Jaden, which is where they want it. Riley goes direct into the circle again, but nobody's there. Jaden just leaves it. Tom Rasmussen was just maybe half a second too late.
And that is a fantastic ball over the top. Khan Riley gets a stick to it. And Ian McHugh gets back. Cool and calm.
In that situation.
But Tom Wiley has...
unlucky.
Throws his head back.
Thought it was stick, but it was obviously body.
The big grey locks. The head goes back. He's a little bit disappointed with that decision, but here we go. Jamie Hollick for a guest appearance for Canterbury. That is a ripping ball through to Lockie Rogers.
Jaden does really well again.
Quickly off his line. Clears the danger, but geez, Canterbury are starting to threaten now. Sheer weight of opportunities in their attacking circle. It's got to come to something at some stage. Here's Ollie Sproul to Oscar Sproul. The two O's combine. James Dick dump ball back out to Oscar. He's met by a wall of red, and Hogan Jones now. And there's another Sproul into the action for University.
Hogan Jones does brilliantly there. Should get a free for that as well. Did really well. 1 versus 3 to win the free hit.
Of course, young William Sproul's just come on at right half for University. Played some, had some good moments last week against OHA and was lively, particularly on the overlap. He and Oliver, of course, the sons of former Tasmanian star Trent Sproul and nephews of former dual Olympian Daniel Sproul. So huge potential in those two boys, as you just saw a glimpse of. But the hooter sounds, and that is half time in this contest. Still 0-0 unbelievably, but you'd have to say that Canterbury looked the more ominous in that quarter, Josh.
Yeah, I think they might have the legs on Uni. I think is who they've got out there. So yeah, it'll be a good test for us going into it, and be a good measure of where we are in the season. I'd like to think that we can come out on top if we play properly, but I suppose OHA will be thinking that as well. As we get back underway here, Canterbury doing what Canterbury always do, want to push back and going straight forward, trying to play forward as soon as possible.
And immediately Ben Reid looking to connect with James Dick, who's ghosted in behind. Canterbury not able, they're sort of struggling a little bit under those aerial balls to receive them, so I think that'll be an opportunity for University going forward. But Ashby Bingham will recycle the ball out, and Tyler McDonald now has a little bit of a paddock to walk the ball up into.
Good ball.
Great ball.
Corner.
Leading back to Tom Wiley, and that is first blow landed by University there with a nice little transfer of play. Driving ball from McDonald through to the leading Tom Wiley, who's looking dangerous. on the move in the forward line for University, and they'll get their second look at a penalty corner.
This is their threat on corners as well. Everyone knows that this is how they try and score goals. And you can say it during a pre-game, don't give away corners, but if the ball bowls the wrong way and hits your foot, unfortunately it's very difficult to stop. So it's now up to the PCD and Max Larkin. Alex Hogan-Jones did a great job on the first corner in the first half to run it down. Gone to 2 batteries on the top here. Ben Reed's on the left, Tyler McDonald on the right, trying to throw the one runner off. It's out to Tyler McDonald, and it's just wide.
So looking down Larkin's left-hand side, as they've had some value last year, but far too wide and not potent enough for mine, and a chance now for Canterbury to settle themselves. They had all the running in pretty much in that second quarter, and University have come out firing after half-time.
It's always difficult to flick down that side of the goal just on that PC. If you're flicking through the one runner and having to flick almost around him to get to that right-hand side of the goal, it's always going to be tricky. I feel like they need to change that. Wow, it's a really good ball to Khan Riley down the right-hand side. Goes early into the D, but Jaden saves again. And Sam Payne will come away with the ball. Really good early ball from Khan Riley. I didn't see who was trying to get, I think it might have been Lockie Rogers again, trying to get in front of Jaden.
It was Jamie Hollick who was just ghosting in behind and got a backstick touch to it. He got an important touch, but Pearson smothered and cleared nicely. I think the University might need to get sort of a bit tighter with their man marking on Hollick.
Really good tackle from Joe Scott.
And Joe Scott defending like Kieran Tierney for the Arsenal Football Club there.
I won't, I'm not going to quote you on that one, Mixo. Knowing some of Arsenal's defensive reputations.
Don't get me started on William Gallas. But anyway, we've got Joe Scott back in possession of the ball, and he's got the option down the line. Can't keep it in the field of play.
You can tell that the tempo's already raised. First couple of minutes of the second half, the tempo, clearly both teams have been told they need to play a little bit quicker, lead it a little bit harder, give the ball a little bit earlier. Everything's just 5-10% quicker at the moment. I'm not sure who that'll play into as the game goes on.
So Harmon, who's been solid so far this match, to Riley, goes all the way across the field to Ian McEwen. I like that from him, cutting in field, but just searching through Jono Hodgson, and it's found a foot. You can see Sam McCulloch's taken up residency in the attacking circle as well. Canterbury with 5 in the attacking circle almost. And they're all on the move. Searching ball, touched by Hollick, causes some problems, and Donovan isn't able to beat Pearson to the ball, but he did ghost away from McDevitt, his marker, comfortably.
It's definitely a match-up you want in the D. In all respect to Monkey, he's probably not the best defensively. So if they can get a match-up like that in the D, they'll want that. And they've got a lot of space on the right here for Khan Riley again.
Yeah, really stretching the University attacking press, and Khan Riley can crack it in again. That's a searching ball to Donovan, who tries to tap it round the back. Jaden Pearson was quick off his line, absolutely smothered and gave him no look at the goal. Fantastic goalkeeping 101 in that situation there. And as we talked about, Michael McDevitt just struggling to go with Donovan. That is a match-up Canterbury are finding to be fruitful. And there's another touch, and this time it's Hollick.
Yeah.
The man who couldn't stop scoring goals when he played in Darwin. Premiership player with South Launceston Suns last year. Just too smart for the University defence there, constantly getting into difficult areas, and that's his bread and butter. That's his game style. Deflections on the move. Nothing Jaden Pearson could do about that, and we have Canterbury 1-0 up.
It was just the ball speed around the back really helped there. The balls, and they're flying up on the press. Rito's had one little mistrap, and look at the press from Canterbury right up in the D.
And the turn possession over. Here's Redmond, I think. But gets around Reed too easily, but great save by Pearson. Gee, he's having a cracking game.
And this is where Canterbury are dangerous. We said Uni are dangerous on the break. Canterbury are dangerous when they get there. They're up and about and they suddenly get a goal. They get a little sniff, and then they're very good at getting 2-3 quick goals. It was just the speed they moved the ball around the back to move the spare fullback of Uni. I don't know if it was Rito or if it was Tyler McDonald in that occasion, but it's so difficult to get across and get in the way of the line of the ball. And some really good ball pace into the D from Kyan Riley as well. He's had a massive impact for this Canterbury team in the last couple of games.
So former Smith and Saint Kyan Riley, now the captain coach of Burnie Baptist, spent a bit of time playing in the Perth, Australia's elite domestic competition over in Perth for the Fremantle Hockey Club, where he was a notable drag flicking option, constantly in the top 10 leading goal scorers over there for Fremantle, who were a bottom half of the table side for a lot of his time there. So a lot of experience, a lot of quality about what he brings to Canterbury. Not sure how often he's going to be available during the regular season, but what a bonus for this young Canterbury side to have a man of his experience playing with them.
Yeah, I don't know how. I know GNL starts on the just after Easter on the 7th of April, but I don't know how often they'll be able to get down here once that starts. I know a lot of the games are midweek or Friday nights, so that might have a positive impact for Canterbury, but yeah, it might be a little tougher for them to get those players down.
He's also a member of one of the coaching team for the Tassie Tigers Academy, Josh, of which you're a part of. The academy headed by former Kookaburra's drag flicking star Luke Dorner, but we'll just cast that aside for the moment as McCulloch has a one-on-one battle with McDonald and wins a free hit.
Yeah,
Did well there, McDonald, though, to just hold him up and protect the peel-back option, but too much space for McCulloch, and he's got possession again, rolls one way, rolls the other, on his reverse. But that's a really comfortable save as the Tomahawk would look to be sailing in the top corner, but nice glancing save. Oh no, in fact it's just gone straight over the top.
It's a difficult spot to shoot that from. I think Sam probably wanted to put it down on the floor, just couldn't keep it down.
So as Ben Reid looks for the little dink over the top of Lockie Rogers, McDonald time to gallop forward. Feeds Payne, who's been a little bit quiet in the last 10 or so minutes. Wins the free hit there and goes quickly. This is where he's dangerous. Pops a beautiful ball in and James Dick jumps on it, but it is smothered by the encroaching Max Larkin in the Canterbury goal.
Hasn't had a huge amount to do, Max, today, so it's good that he's staying switched on. Be interesting to see how Uni approach this now. They need a goal. They need to take the game to Canterbury. They haven't really pressed very high. So it'll be interesting to see if they change that at all, or if they just stick with their process. Oh, it's unlucky for Ashby Bingham. I thought he turned it over. It also looks as if the weather is just changing, just in time for me to run out on the field as well, which I'm not very happy about. Hopefully the rain stays away.
I can't believe I'm hearing an Englishman whinge about the weather here in Hobart. But anyway, I've heard it all.
Englishman whinging is just a normal thing, I think.
So University with a period of possession. Joe Scott given up possession here, and chance for the goal scorer. Hullock wins a free hit onto the foot of Ben Reid, but it's been called by umpire Winch. Oh, and a little bit of push and shove here.
I think Rio might go here.
And you can't do that. Winch is reaching into his pocket. Green card. So University's playing coach forced to sit down for 2 minutes. Canterbury University probably
straight into the D. That should be a.
I was just about to say, Josh, that
just let that go. I was surprised they haven't called that.
I was just going to say University not unknown to playing with 10 men,
No.
but they've still got to negotiate this next 2 minutes, which is big opportunity now for Canterbury. Are they going to look long and direct?
On the left.
They've slowed the play down. They're going to go all the way back. So
I think if you're Canterbury, you've got to see this as a good opportunity to almost kill the game off, get another goal whilst the key player for Uni is off the field. There'll be a lot more space. They're just giving the ball away at the moment.
the idea was right, but it just couldn't connect. And University have an opportunity, but that pass from Joe Scott is not Kieran Tierney-esque, and he just misses Tyler McDonald, who's got a big role to play in this next couple of minutes. Jono Hodgson's jumped into a marking role in the back line, and McDonald will assume the senior defender role for University in the free man position. They've sagged right off in their attacking press. You can see there James Dick just saving, not spending all his petrol tickets at the moment, but a chance now. Canterbury have worked this well, so Harmon can get forward. Good lead by Redmond. That's Sean. He's looked dangerous. Only the one shot so far.
There's Luke now into the D, but
Connects with his brother Luke, but that little bit of a hope pass. Can't find anyone with a red shirt. And University will be in absolutely no hurry to take this free hit, knowing that the seconds are ticking away before their coach and spiritual leader, we'll call him, Ben Reid, returns to the action.
I think he obviously has a massive impact on the game. He can be a bit of a hothead sometimes, but I call it passion rather than frustration or anger.
James Sexton, this is his best moment of the match so far. Gets in, beats one, wins a free hit. Interestingly, University still playing with 3 strikers even though they're down a player.
I think Rito's trying to, he's back on now. He's trying to gain.
He snuck forward,
cheat. Yeah.
And Bingham did spot him.
I was unlucky. Took a deflection, I think. It's interesting. He might just stay up there. I think we call this cheating at Irwin. Just leaving a player high, just to make it a little bit, make the defensive team make a decision.
And searching ball by Riley.
Win the ball quickly and then go quickly straight to that player, but it's a good jump back from McCulloch.
Fantastic reverse pressure. Turns possession over. Here's Canterbury. They fire, and great save with the right foot by Jaden Pearson. I think Ben Reid's seen enough now. He'll jump back into defence.
Yeah, I think it's probably where he's best suited.
And it'll be interesting now how much University have suffered while down to 10 men now. Ben Reid looks to clear there on the upright reverse, and just Canterbury cannot get their best player Sam McCulloch onto the field. He's on now, but unfortunately he was off when they had University down to 10, which is a little bit unfortunate for the Lions' point of view. But he comes on fresh regardless.
I think John Hodson's, I didn't see what happened. I think I'm assuming it was chat, but he's just been carded. So Uni are back down to 10. He's sitting on the seat, so I'm assuming he's been carded. I can only assume it was. Oh, it may have been for the tackle. It might have been brought back for a bad tackle. He's not usually one to chat to the umpires. But Uni are back down to 10, so they'll slow the game down again. As long as the game remains at 1-0, Uni won't mind. They're quite happy to slow the game down and play their style. Good ball forward by Rito.
Oh, the chance has fallen to McDevitt here as Oakford left the ball behind him. McDevitt on the upright.
Oh.
I thought that nearly struck the foot of McCulloch as he overran that. And that was a dangerous opportunity. He probably had more time than he thought he had, McDevitt, there, just to control the ball and assess his options.
Yeah, and this is why they're dangerous. They know they can score off any play. It's a big reason of why they're so effective in finals. So they can score off any play and they do it very quickly. But here's Rasmussen down the left. Doesn't have... Oh, wow. Okay, good tackle from Sam Payne. Obviously timed that one perfectly. James Dick will look to go down the line but can't keep it in. And isn't happy with himself.
Fantastic player, James Dick, when he's running at pace and controlling the ball. When he slows himself down, he just sort of gets caught up in...
It's very much what I call an instinct player. Very good in the D, getting a quick touch in the D, quick turn and shot. When he's given a bit of room, it's difficult. That's a very... I don't know if Hogan Jones made more of it, but physical tackle from Ashby Bingham.
Canterbury playing the sideline well, playing with width. I feel like there's a searching ball going into the D to come. Well done by McHugh. There it is, but unable to connect to Rasmussen, who'd actually stolen the yard on his marker.
I don't think Canterbury need to do that though. I think they can be a little bit more clinical in that sort of situation. It doesn't need to be just chucked into the D aimlessly, thinking they can get a touch, and they can make a proper pass into the circle. And it looks like back of the stick, but they got the ball anyway. But I think they can just calm it down, make a proper pass into the circle. It looks like it's just starting to rain, which might speed the pitch up a little bit, get it a little bit wet, which I'm not happy about.
University just struggling to get their second and third phase of their passing going at the moment.
The forwards, Dickie's looking to get in behind still, but some good marking from the Canterbury back line.
switched the play, and Payne's got it. Looks down the line for McDevitt. Rasmussen's getting right up in the face of Payne here and causing him a little bit of problems. Crash ball in. Ouch. That struck the back of the leg for Hogan Jones, who bravely shakes it off. As the clock sounds for three-quarter time, we have Canterbury leading 1-0. And except for 2 penalty corners, they've pretty much had the dominance in that quarter again. And we have a delicately poised game on our hands here, Josh, knowing the ability of University to attack with pace after spending a fair bit of that quarter down to 10 men. And it'll be young Lockie Rogers looking to take the ball quickly, as Canterbury always do. He goes searching for Hollick, but they turn over possession.
That's a good winning back from Watson.
The man from the Yarra Valley's got Canterbury going again in this quarter, and that's well defended by Ben Reid. And they're able to secure themselves a 16-yard hit. James Dick's come back to the ball a little bit. Sam Payne's finding himself working around in the midfield.
I think Rito wanted him to go high. He didn't want him to come back to the ball there. There's too many people in the middle of the field. And now Canterbury can count. Oh, it's a little mistrap from Redmond. Oh, he's won it back. He's done really well. And he's got a free hit, I think, as well. Yeah.
Always has a presence, Sean Redmond, whenever he plays.
Southerly, one way of putting it.
And Khan Riley able to get forward. Back to McHugh. He's got Oakford on his left. He's got Riley on his right. He looks to go to Riley. Jamie Hollick is looking dangerous in the attacking circle. Botting up with his defender, but at the moment Canterbury comfortable just to knock it around. McCulloch presents and drives around the back of Tom Wiley. He's into the circle on his reverse stick side. He goes to ground. Redmond finds the shot and Luke Redmond, I think it is, has knocked that one home. What a damaging run that was from Sam McCulloch on the left-hand baseline. He peeled the ball across and a little bit of a few bodies around the feet of goalkeeper Jaden Pearson, and it was Luke Redmond who's knocked that home. 2-0 Canterbury, and they've got 1 foot in the door of winning these 3 points here, Josh.
Yeah, that was the first time McCulloch's really had any sort of forward threat for the whole game, really been able to run at defenders and get into the D. It's starting to rain here now, but it was a really good little pullback ball, made it really difficult for the defenders. Sam Payne beats a couple of players. Now Oscar Sproul has an opportunity in the 25. It's mistrapped and here's Lockie Rogers. Rio stepping forward though, wins the free hit.
Strong play from Ben Reid, but you just get the sense that University have really rolled the dice here, getting numbers really high. They've got a couple of young guys in key positions, and the ball spills in the circle, but Ian McHugh's able to clear, although Will Sproul wins it back, and Payne getting busy. Industrious in his shift into the midfield now.
Oh,
and
dear.
That's a dangerous place to cough the ball up, and McCulloch, this is where he loves it, with space to run. Redmond cuts in field. That was a dangerous tackle, and there's a deflection, but unable to turn it in is our first goal scorer, Hollick. Geez, I would have normally backed him from there.
Yeah, that's a really good opportunity to kill the game from Canterbury. This is what I was talking about. They have to be able to take opportunities like that in this sort of situation, as Redmond has been carded, I think, for a deliberate foot, which is a weird call at this stage in the game. It's a weird thing to do when you're 2-0 up if you did do it deliberately.
But it's another opportunity, Josh, for a momentum swing in this game.
Oh, absolutely. If Uni can grab a goal again, it makes it close. And Rito will know that, and he'll look to get his team up and about again. As Ollie Sproul does really well down the right.
Fantastically well. Bobbling ball into the circle. It's difficult for Redmond, who's everywhere at the moment, to deal with. Sam Payne's ended up with the ball outside the attacking circle. Fires across in, and Tom Wiley, who had ghosted in behind Sam McCulloch, is unable to control it. 2 wonderful opportunities for University, but unfortunately...
That's how close they can get. If Dickey, I think it was Dickey that was the one coming through there, can trap that on the run, it's almost certainly a goal. And if Wiley's maybe a little more expectant of the ball on the second attempt, you'd like to think that from that position of the D he would put in as well. But Rito has pushed his Stewies forward.
Craig Donovan on the big overlap, but Riley's unable to get good purchase on it this time round.
elects to do the experience thing and finds the foot. Just want to go back too. I thought that was a really terrific receive, really promising stuff from Oliver Sproul over on the other sideline to set up those
really
couple of opportunities. That's probably one of the highlights of his young career.
He's one of the players who's also in the junior academy group who's done really well in the last couple of months in his development. So it's good to see him getting some reward for it with some Premier League minutes. Here's McCulloch down the left.
And
Good
Joe
step.
Scott marking in front. Oh,
Lovely
terrific
turn.
receive by Lockie Rogers. He's got in the circle, but
Looks
Tyler
like-
McDonald one-handed. Really strong play. Unfortunately, Joe Scott's coughed it back up and Rogers gets busy again. He's won the free hit.
He's very, very good in that situation, Lockie Rogers, just because it helps being small, but he's so low to the ground, his centre of gravity can change, and he wins the corner there. He can change direction so quickly, and it's so difficult to get down onto his level. It sounds horrible saying it, but being that small in that situation has its advantages. And he's done brilliant there, and that's kind of what they're expecting him to do up front, I think. Is get in those situations and win corners.
And a terrific sign of a young player doing the experience thing and winning a penalty corner when your side is 2-0 up and looking to kill the game off.
Absolutely.
Under 10 minutes to go now in this contest, and a really good look at the goals here. I'll be interested to see, we've got McCulloch and Khan Riley both over the top of the battery.
Riley hasn't been on the field for any of the corners yet, so I would think that it would go to him.
So we're going to see a Greater Northern League battle here, possibly between Riley and Pearson. It is. And that Pearson's up to the challenge, saving low with his left hand. And somehow the rebounds found its way into University hands. Rogers in his uncustomary defensive position.
Absolutely everywhere today.
And been really strong on that one as well and won the free hit for Canterbury. That was a strong flick from Riley, but Pearson was up to the challenge.
Again, though, he's going down. I said this in the first half when McCulloch was trying to go down the right-hand side of Larkin. I feel like if you go that side of the goal, it's always going to be more tricky. Obviously, some flickers feel more comfortable flicking that side of the goal, but I just feel like you're flicking through runners. It makes it hard to get a clean shot off. But
delightful trap there from Oscar Sproul, and a chance to get forward. He protects it well. Give him a free hit, umpire, but no, play on.
I think probably if he was on the ball there, we'd be expecting a free, but he didn't want to blow it. And it's good to see these young players stepping up to the plate for University, even though they're maybe not getting as much reward as they deserve. They're putting their weight about, they're getting on the ball, they're not being afraid, which is really good to see. Canterbury come down the left-hand side again.
Could be an interesting tactic from University. They've left a couple of their senior players to recharge at the beginning of this last quarter. They could be set for a big last 6 or 7 minutes in this quarter with their first choice 11 all fresh.
And Sam Payne is definitely going forward as more as a midfielder now. He's finding himself in the attacking 25 so much more.
Yeah, but the man for me is James Dick. He's just coming back to the ball and getting himself out wide. He's hunting around that pack there, but really I think he needs to be up as the lead marksman, up at the head of the circle.
Yeah, absolutely. Here he is.
So here he is picking up the ball, but he's still got 5 Canterbury defenders in front of him when he gets forward. He's in a better position now, and that's been found Ashby Bingham on his forestick, but unable to skew that one back on target, unfortunately. I thought he was going to roll onto his reverse, actually, and sell a bit of candy to the defender, who was rushing in.
Yeah, it's a difficult skill that with the ball rolling away from you after the first touch to get around the ball again, which is probably why he missed on the near post, but he'll be pretty hard on himself there. He's got high standards of his skills, as he should, because he's a very good player. It's another opportunity that maybe if Uni are a little bit calmer in the D, they could take it.
So again, James Dick doing a lot of defensive work, but not much reward as Ian McHugh puts the ball out over the other side. Craig Donovan unable to control it, unfortunately. Not had one of his better games, unfortunately, Dono, but
Rito wants the option straight to the D. He keeps looking for it every time he gets a free hit or gets the ball.
He's got James Dick now really high and central, and he looks to go that way, but unfortunately can't connect with Dick's lead. And Angus Oakford marking in front, as a good defender should do. And a chance now for Michael McDevitt for University on the sideline. Needs to get going. Does. Beats one. Winds up on the tomahawk, but unfortunately back of the stick, according to the umpire. You could see what he was trying to do though.
Canterbury are just going to kill a little bit of clock here. They're going to play slow off every free hit, off every 16. As Harmon goes long to Hogan Jones. A really good trap, but it's gone straight to Ben Reid. Now Uni.
And Aaron Kitchener, but he's unable to connect the pass. Unfortunate there for University. That was a good opportunity to get the ball forward. We're starting to see Canterbury really stretch the field now. They've got Tom Rasmussen only a couple of yards off the baseline. They've got Craig Donovan and Vincent Harmon pinned to the sidelines. They're really stretching the field. They go into Hogan Jones, who's strong on the four-stick receive. Beats young Sam Payne, but I just don't think that's the best option now to go through the head of the circle when you're 2-0 up.
This is what I'm talking about. They need to. This is a situation where you understand you don't play. We got told don't play dough in hockey by Fitzy. Don't go through the head of the circle. This is what we used to do a lot.
And another searching aerial ball. Canterbury side, they've struggled with that.
Canterbury touched it, so it's a long corner. So this could be an opportunity if they go quickly. Everyone gets back behind the ball. And now I'd expect Tyler McDonald will probably look direct.
He does.
Really
that is a fantastic trap by young Henry Wright on his Premier League debut. The boy from up north has come down and he could have made one of the biggest bits of impact on this game if this can go in the back of the net for University. They're right back in the hunt with 5 minutes remaining. Really of course, the clock will stop for up to 40 seconds under the new playing conditions of the Premier League this season.
It's good to see that we're doing that this year as well. It's a good bit of progress. I know some people don't like it. I personally do like it. I think running the clock out for as long as you can on a corner as a PCD is detrimental to the game, but I know some broadcasters wouldn't agree with me.
So here we are, Reid, the only option at the top. Flicks,
really good
flicks straight into Hogan Jones. That's the second one he's run down today. Unfortunately, the follow-up shot from McDevitt is into the body of young Sam Payne. There's not much meat on those bones either, so he's going to have to shrug that one off pretty quickly because we've still got about 5 minutes to play, and University, you feel like there's another big chance coming for them in this game.
Yeah, I think Reid thought that it had hit the body of Hogan Jones, but it's either hit his stick or he's very good at hiding the pain. He's done some excellent one running today, and I think he's been industrious in that middle of the field for Canterbury.
A weighted ball by Kitchener. McDevitt probably not going with the percentage option there, unfortunately, and perhaps a little bit of their inexperience starting to show with some of the decision making of the University players as this game wears on. But they're worth their weight in gold, those penalty corner runners.
They absolutely are. One runners now are considered almost more important than drag flickers these days. Really good save from Jaden again, and swinging a miss will be a free hit out. Just again, Rito wants to go early, but there's nobody really higher than the sort of halfway line, 60, 70 metre line.
He's forced to go sideways to McDonald, who's overhead on the move. Is beautifully brought down by young Henry Wright. What an injection he's brought to this last quarter. Unfortunately, James Dick took evasive action. And
unlucky not to get the free there, I think. But, oh wow. Oh, that looked nasty.
Protected it really nicely there, Tyler McDonald, but was collected by McCulloch. I'm surprised there wasn't a little bit of a sterner whistle, but the minutes...
It's good press from Canterbury, really good press.
Time's about to be the enemy of University though, Josh, unless... And sensing that, Reid goes long, and Rasmussen, who's now tied his hair up...
No, that's not Rasmussen, that's why. It's Luke Palmer.
Luke Palmer has come on for his first minutes in the game. I do apologise.
One of the younger Canterbury players, who's also going to 18s. They do like that long hairstyle, out of span style though.
And here we go, young Will Sproul on the overlap. Can he win a penalty corner? Good bobbly ball inside, only out to as far as Hodgson. Kitchener twisting, turning. He's got McDevitt in space, and Joe Scott goes to get the far post as well. Sails over the baseline, but University just cannot catch a break here at the moment.
This will go straight into the D. This will go straight back to Rito and in the D. Oh, good running. Go again though.
And that is a
Another good
fantastic
trap as
reverse
well.
stick trap by Hogan Jones.
Canterbury can go now.
He's come up trumps in some of the big moments in this game.
Oh, it's good defending from Tyler McDonald there. And has he hurt himself? It's maybe a little bit of cramp, or maybe just caught his leg in the turf, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he's not feeling the effects of that tackle earlier. Got himself into a couple of...
He's holding his back of his left knee or the back of his left calf.
And a great option there from Oakford in the end. And that gives
Definitely hold
Canterbury a
on.
chance to let the seconds tick away a little bit further.
Uni's still very deep here. They need to get out, and McDevitt gets out a little bit, but he's the only one pressing at the moment. They've all got to step out.
And somewhat surprisingly, looks like University are going to stay with the goalkeeper on. That's a dangerous ball across the field, but it's got through. Oakford not going through the head of the circle. That's a good option, but he's coughed it up to Hodgson, and he'll play the 1-2 with Bingham, but not much to go forward to, unfortunately for University. I don't think they've got that right with the way they've set up going forward today. Might be a focus area for them going forward, but no option but to go sideways. Will Sproul takes the first time touch, and that man Palmer, in fact, gets on the ball again. And this is where the experience of McHugh, who must have played about 60 or 70 games for the Tasmanian Tigers in the Australian Hockey League, knocks the ball around. They're going to play the sideline now, Canterbury. And this will be an important win for them, Josh. 2-0. They've got 6 points from the first 3 games. Young side that didn't make the finals last year. They now got in a wonderful position where they're not chasing as many points. They've built a good foundation, and the clock runs out, the siren sounds. That's a huge confidence boosting win for the Canterbury Lions, who take their round 3 men's Premier League match against University 2-0 with goals to Jamie Hillock and Luke Redmond. Hullock.